Today we have with us Ms.Sheeba Ameer. She is one of the most inspiring human being I have ever come across. Sheeba ma'am has started an organization Solace that assists and enables parents, children having cancer, and even their sibling who might be neglected and helps them to deal with the grappling situation. For her exemplary social work, Ms.Sheeba Ameer ma'am has won several awards, including the CNN Real Hero Award 2011, Vanitha Woman of the Year Award 2011, Kerala State Social Justice Department Acchamma Cherian Memorial Vanitharatnam Puraskaram in 2016. She chaired the Kerala Patana Congress in 2015 and is involved in various committees dealing with women issues. She has also published 3 books, of which one of them has won 2011 Avani Bala Award for Best Literature by Female Writer. Ma'am, so with so many feathers on your cap, can you please tell us what has made you the woman that you are today? Probably if you could tell us a little bit about your childhood, how it was, then we'll take the conversation from there further.
Okay. Thank you, Srila, for inviting me to your session. This is a great honor for me. At first, I have to say that I don't know English. English is not my language.
That's okay, ma'am.
I don't know, is it possible for me to express myself in English? I'm not fluent in English, but I will try my level best. Please bear with me. Sorry for my poor language. Okay.
That's okay, ma'am.
My childhood, I was not a keen child in studies. I was a tomboy-like person. I was always in playground, and I was always on the trees.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just like there is a mixed college in Thrissur. Its name is Sri Kerala College. I wear a 4-inch, 5-inch shorts, mini skirt, and I roam around the college. The most fashionable dress with wrap round, with belts and shirt, with body tight top. Like that, I was the most fashionable girl in that college, but tomboy like. Not at all in the classes. I'm always the other side, and in my family also, in my family, I have two sisters and 2 brothers. Everybody was very very bright in their studies, but I am not like that. So my father always called me Viti Pushmandam. The Malayalam word is Viti Pushmandam. That means this stupid girl, like that, fool, nothing, fool, like that. That the name. He was always saying that, and in my childhood, still I'm like a person that I'm not a matured person. I've never at the age of 17, I have only the maturity of 10 years. In the age of 27, I am 10 years lesser matured person. I'm not, still I'm not changed a lot. Still I'm like that. When the rain is coming, I wish to run in the rain, like that. But I can say I'm a very nature loving person.
Okay.
And I'm always connected with the others, the surroundings, my neighbors. I'm always with them. I'm going visiting them. I'm a social person from my childhood itself. I'm
Okay.
not a
Introvert.
introvert. I never be within a room. Otherwise, with my books, with my on. I'm always outside. I'm an extrovert always.
Okay.
That was my nature.
Okay. So, what made you, decide? Because on Solace is a very, I would not say like, it's a very serious work to do, right? For somebody who is extremely tomboyish, who loves to, climb trees, and who's more or less with respect to, nature loving. So, What made you decide on starting Solace?
I don't know. It happened so, Sheila. Life, the life, the flow of life bring us in a certain point. We will think we will do something like that. What happened in my life? My daughter. And I married at the age of 18, and within 2 months I flew to Qatar, and I was there with my husband is a marine biologist in Qatar government. I'm living a luxury life in a way, financially well settled, but I cannot adjust that life that time itself, because always the part here in a house there will be a party, the next day party with some more desserts and like that. The
Okay.
competition between this, I'm not at all interested in all that things. And I spent nearly 18-20 years there. And when we decided to settle our to make a house and settle, we just settled near into 1997. We made a house, and we just settled there with my two children. My daughter was that time in 8th class,
Okay.
and my son was in 11th class.
Okay.
And that time, at the age of 13, she had a fever, and immediately the next day, that within a week, she diagnosed with AML, acute myeloid leukemia, the very dreadful disease that is in blood cancer itself. It is very, very dangerous. So the only solution was a bone marrow transplantation. So doctor suggested the only way you can save your child is to do bone marrow transplantation. The next day we flew to Bombay, Tata Memorial Hospital. Who did the bone marrow transplantation? The doctor who did the first bone marrow transplantation in India, Dr. Purvishiyam Parik. We had a connection with them, my sister's husband and they. So immediately from the airport, we reached to his cabin, and we were talking, and Neelu got admitted, and a lot of time, nearly 3 years, I spent in that hospital for the first chemotherapy, three consolidation, and after that, in between infections, and after that bone marrow transplantation, routine checkup and everything. So I saw the very, very painful things there. In my surroundings, the same disease, the AML, the same age, but the other child, I can see the next bed. I can see a child with the same disease, with the same age, but they cannot afford at least their food. We were able to give them antibiotics cost 1 lakh rupees per day, and we are spending how much we can spend for our child. The next bed, I was seeing that the child with the same disease, same age, they cannot even afford the child's food, not even medicine, and the mother cannot sit beside this child. And she was that's meanwhile she was running around for the searching in search of money. So I felt the disparity between poor and rich. It is really thought provoking. It is really shocking. It was really shocking. So that was very painful. There are lot of incidents. I am not explaining that too much. So I felt we at the same time we took a new flat. We got a new car, the driver with a servant, with my in-laws for supporting me, and we were carrying my child, and the other side the very pathetic situation. So that disparity, and that time, the another thing, I am in a severe pain. If what a mother, what was going to me in me, that much painful situation was that pain was saying to me something like a messenger, the prophets, the messengers, right?
Yes.
like a messenger that do something for them, do something for them. If you are suffering this much pain about your child, look at that mothers, look at that parents. They were going 100 times much pain with them. They are going through the worst helplessness of a human being. Their child is sick, but they cannot save that child only because of they are poor. So do something. The pain which I went through, that pain says me something like a messenger to do something for that. That time I decided to do something, and I picked that name Solace itself from the hospital itself. And I came back. I decided that I will do something for this. At that there was three choices. No, there was two choices. At first, there was two choices. I can curse my life, what happened to me, why this happened to me, and I can always curse myself, about my fate, and I can regret like that. I can sit in another mode. Otherwise, I can make my pain in a creative mode. So I decided to make my pain in a creative mode. And in that itself, I had three options to give something to that children, otherwise to that parents. Otherwise, the second one, otherwise I can collect some money from my dears and nears, and I can donate them. The third choice was donating me itself. I
For
gave
the
myself for
cause.
free. So I decided for the third one.
Third one, that is yes, ma'am. Amazingly inspiring story, ma'am. In spite of the pain that you were going through, it takes a lot of, I think, empathy. Generally, when we ourselves are in such a pained mode, we don't think about others. It's always the survival of the fittest. That is what is the Darwin theory, right? But you, not only you were under a lot of women's pain, but you did everything you could to think about another person. I mean, that is hats off to you, ma'am. I really don't know how. I mean, it's that I'm speechless actually.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, what you said, you took the name Solace from the hospital itself. So, could you give a little bit background about, like, in what sense is it? Does it have a special meaning, or is it, what made you decide that name?
That is very personal.
Okay, if you
The
don't want to answer,
doctor,
it is okay. If you don't
no,
wish,
I can say that.
okay.
Dr. Purvish Parik was her doctor who did the first bone marrow transplantation in India. I was always worried about Neelu, and I was asking hundreds of questions to my doctor. What is happening? Why this medicine? What is the side effects of these medicines? How can we manage this? How can this? And I was that much worried. Then that time, Dr. Purvish called me like this, very dear to his heart, and he was always saying that I'm not worried about Needu. I'm worried about you, Sheba. She will be all right. You look at you. I'm worried about that. That means Dr. Purvish. That was a learning from a doctor. That how can a doctor treat a patient along with the
Family
taking care
members.
of the family.
Yes.
So I used to say, Dr. Purvish, that in my dictionary, there is only one meaning for solace, that is Dr. Purvish. Purvish. So I will start an organization for these sick children, and I will give your name, that is Solace.
Oh, that's such a nice story.
So November 8th is the Solace birthday and Purvish's birthday.
Oh, is it? Oh, so did you do it in a manner that?
Yeah,
Uh,
yes,
okay,
yes.
you did it in the manner that both of them are on the same day. Okay. So, ma'am, my other question was that you said that you've always been, like, for 18 years, you were in Qatar, and you were, like, you were with your husband, staying, you were a homemaker.
Yeah.
So these days there are a lot of women, right, who are still homemakers. But looking at you, I mean, was there a process that did you have a background of starting an NGO, or did you know how to start an NGO? How did you go about it? Because right out of the blue, starting, both me and my sister, we know how difficult a process is to run an NGO, right? We don't have any background to it. So
Yeah.
what was your experience like, ma'am? Like, did you
Yeah.
have an experience prior to this? Any work experience or?
Nothing, nothing. I only know to cook food and look after my children. That was the only knowledge. There is no academic background. There is no experience for working somewhere. Nothing. So when I decided, and there was another problem also. My family was not supporting at all. So I spent 7 years to learn to start an organization. How can I start an organization? I spent 7 years in pain and palliative care. See, when I am in college, I couldn't learn where the credit and debit, where we can, which column I have to put the credit and debit. I fed up with that and I closed my textbook. But that same person spent 7 years to learn to do homework, how to start an organization, how to run an organization. In that way, how can I support these children in a community base? That means we are not calling all these children to our place and we are supporting some medicines. Not like that. They have to be with their parents, with their mothers, with their surroundings. How can we support that side? That is called community based.
Okay.
So for learning it, I spent 7 years, and after 7 years, I felt now I am strong enough to start an organization. Then I started Solace. See, Sheila, there is something. I have to add some more thing. See, I told you I'm an immature. I'm always a tomboy like person, and I'm not. No, I don't have an academic background. But I'm sure that only I can run Solace like this because I went through this process I lived with a child 7 years before I starting Solace. 7 years I spent with my child. I saw hundreds of experience in Tata Hospital, and when I am spending pain and palliative care 7 years, I saw many patients, but not children. I can understand what is the pain and palliative care centers, why they cannot support Solace, the challenge of the pediatric palliative care. I learned everything. And after 7 years, I wrote the objectives, vision, mission, and everything for Solace. That was perfect for this 15 years.
Wow. So the 7 years, yeah, so it was like a personal experience.
I want to conclude that only life experience. Only life experience.
And your determination and persistence, as well as the empathy towards others. I think these three are the most important factor. Yes, we can have a lot of life experiences, like you said, ma'am. Either we just sit and cry, why me, or we do something about it and bring about change. So that is what. So it is not that you were academically poor, or you were a tomboy, or always on the trees. The fact is that you are a good human being, a very good soul. And I mean, I really am saying it right from heart, ma'am, that nobody would actually, I still can't get over the fact that in your own pain you're thinking about others. I mean, that is hats off to you on that.
Thank you, Sheila. Thank you
So,
so much.
ma'am, generally I have not, like, when I was going through your website, I saw that you're also, like, you're taking care of the siblings so that they don't feel neglected. I don't think I've ever heard any, like, mostly the NGOs that work either with, certain life term diseases sort of a thing. They work more towards funding financially, right, for the people. But here, you're taking a wholesome approach of being, not only just giving them a financial support, but also the emotional support and taking care that the sibling doesn't feel neglected, right? So what made, how did this thought process even come into you, that think about the sibling, think about the second child who's probably, who might be mature enough to understand, but is still being neglected. So what I would like to understand the thought process that.
I told you that I learned everything from my life. So when my Neelu diagnosed with cancer, the next day we flew to Bombay, and I forget about my son. He was totally neglected. I don't know, he was preparing for his entrance exams, but he cannot complete that. His study and everything
Was disrupted. I'm sure it was, yeah.
and I don't know how he survived. So at least he was at the age of 16. But that itself, I know how all the thought process, all the time, everything is concentrated on the sick children. Definitely the other child will get neglected. I learned it from my life itself. And in the poor families aspect, I know very much they don't have money to make them go to school. For their school fees. They don't have money to buy the uniform, but to buy the school bag and everything, to make them in a college. Everything, all the fund and everything, the energy of the whole family is spending to the child. I learned it from my life itself, but we were financially okay. So my son didn't get entrance in engineering, but he completed his BCom, and he after that he did his MBA, and now he is in a very good position. That is another other part. When the poor went through all these problems, that is very so. Your question was, where from I learned all this? Everything I learned from my life itself. What is happening when a child diagnosed with a very life-threatening disease? What is happening to a family? That I know very well. I lived with my child for 16 years, and I know what is happening. When in my organization, when a mother starting to say something, I can understand within seconds. I can put myself that position.
Right,
That is
right.
difference. When we are going through it, we can. All these are I never learned from a book. Not from a classroom. From my life. That's why. That's why Solace is perfect.
Right, because it's no book I think can ever teach us what our own life experiences, which we have ourselves gone through, would teach us. That is there. So, ma'am, I'm sure, like you said, you did not have much support, right,
Yeah.
during this time. So there were quite a lot of hardships. I'm sure people would have, first and foremost, a woman starting an NGO. Again, there are so many people going against. It might be near dear ones, it might be the bureaucracy, it might be a lot, everything around. So could you tell us a little bit about the hardships or the hurdles that you faced? And
That is the point. That is the main point, that if a woman decided to start something, that is not allowed from the family itself. I'm dead sure about that. If family supports, it is little bit easy for a woman. If our husband supports, it is very easy for us. Okay, but the objection from our life partner itself, it's very tough to. So my husband was totally against that. He had lot of excuses that you have a sick child, you have to look after her, and why you are thinking about like that. That are all are excuses. I did everything very well. So that means a women have enormous power, enormous
yes,
power.
yes.
But we have to do that. So my husband was totally against that. So I understand that if a person, if a woman who is not financially independent, she can't even think. I learned from my life. So
Yes,
I
ma'am.
tried to, these 7 years, two things I did. One, I learned from, I started working in palliative care, and I learned how to start an organization, how to support in community based, everything I learned. And at the same time, I was trying to make me financially independent. I went for a job. That day my husband was asking, who will give you a job? Once I took phone and I called him, why you are not allowing me for all this? You are feeding me because of that. So I don't need your food. Once I said, and then how can you leave? I will try. And that the same day I got three jobs.
Wow.
And he asked the same question. Who will give you a job? You didn't even completed your 3 degree. Who will give you a job? Let me try. So the same day got three jobs, and I decided to, which is the most uh, the biggest salary. I
Yes.
accepted that job, and I told that person, I don't know even to add one, two plus two, I don't know, but I can offer you my determination. I can offer you my sincerity and dedication. And I appointed as a manager in a architecture company, and 8 months I got salary. From that salary, I took a 2000 small room for the designing dresses, I mean saris, and
Ah.
that I designed this sari.
Oh, really? Wow.
that is that is that is my very interesting. I am very much interested in that. That is my born talent. I never learned from anybody. And I took a room for
This
designing
brocade.
designing center. That rent was 2,000 rupees for that room.
Hmm.
For that, from that 8,000 rupee, 8 months salary, I took a room, and I started to make saris, bridal nets, Muslim
Hmm.
wedding nets, and Christian bridal nets. And I called many. I added many mothers, many wives who cannot, their husbands were abandoned them, otherwise they were sick, like that. And many girls who neglected by their father. So I called that person, and I made it a very big designer shop. And in all textiles, Shimati, Jayalakshmi, each and every textiles we were supplying our bridal method.
Oh,
And
wow.
I made financially my own stand. Okay. And I realized one more thing: who will say for us? Nobody will say for us. My family didn't say a word for me. His family also didn't say a word for me. Let her do something like that. But nobody. So I realized that for us, nobody will say.
That's it.
We have to say
For
for
our
ourselves.
own.
And I made that blooming pearls. That name is blooming pearl. It is still with us, with me. That room, 2,000 rupee rented room. I am keeping that still. And I declared that I am financially independent. And I felt these 7 years. I took 7 years for these two mission. And at last 2007, I felt that I'm strong enough, and I started Solace.
Solace, is it?
I
Wow.
started Solace.
Ma'am, you would not believe it because, for us also, we are doing our level best not only just to empower the youth but also women. So, we recently started, all right, in like for all our events, we are asking the women, the homemakers to cater for food instead of asking the caterers themselves, professional caterers. We're asking our local housewives, and they feel so happy that even though it might be just probably not as big a number of money that they are getting. But with that, the money, that the financially independence that a woman feels when she earns her own money, that gives a totally different outlook with respect to confidence, self-esteem, and they become even more determined. I think woman is the best person to support another woman, because only she understands
Yes.
what the other person is going through. So ma'am.
In between, I would like to say, for in my blooming birds, every textiles we were supplying, but I was not financially independent, but I pretended like that. I don't have time to spend in that shop because my child was sick. I was working in pain and palliative care, and in between I started Solace. Solace, so I couldn't spend. I don't have time to spend there.
Yes.
So at least I pretended that I am financially independent.
No, but ma'am, you made other women financially independent also. So that's another feather on your cap, right?
Yes.
That you not only just started with something for people with lifetime diseases, but you also empowered the women. I think that we can add another feather that you did that. So that again is, I'm sure, all their blessings and the gratitude, that is what is making you look 20 years younger than what you actually are. But ma'am, like before when we were talking, you were saying about the stress you're facing right now these days with respect to to give financial help. Has it ever occurred to you that it's enough, I mean, I should now stop it, or you still are persistent that no, now I'm going to continue doing this lifelong? As in, have there been days when you have felt like, is it really worth it?
Actually, Sheila, I never ever fed up with with my work. I'm still the same here with the same energy when I started Solace, with the same energy.
Okay.
For that, I'm always thinking that pain I lived with my child, and when I lost her, that pain, I don't want to forget all that pains. That made me.
That
Made me
motivates
more
you.
energetic.
Yeah, that motivates you to continue. And
Yeah. So I know the pain. If I'm getting back from the Solace, I'm afraid that Solace may hurt. So I'm thinking about all other mothers' pain and everything. So I can still remember. I don't want to remember. I still with me my pain and everything. So I never fed up, never ever tired or fed up with my work. See, but the one thing happened when I started Solace. I was thinking about to do Solace to support for 10 children, 20 children, maximum 30 children. I never dreamed about about 30 children. So I started for that with the same trust members, with the same vision and mission which I wrote about for that. That the structure was perfect, but I thought 30, 40 children maximum. But it day by day the number of children were increasing. So it reached to 200 above children, 300 within 1 year it reached to 200 above children, and the second year it is nearly 3,300 something.
huh.
That time I received the Vanitha Woman of the Year award.
Oh
The
wow.
year, same year that when I received Vanitha Woman of the Year award, I think there are 500 children with us.
Mm-hmm.
Then the number increases that much. The same year I received CNN IBN Real Hero award. So people came to know about Solace from all the district. Children came to us. from all the districts, the doctors refer to us. Now you know how much children we are supporting. There are 5,000 above, nearly 6,000 children registered in Solace, and we are supporting 4,000 above children each and every month, each and every month.
Oh, wow.
And that time I was thinking, how can I make 30,000 rupees for a month to support these children. I was worried about that. I was thinking about that. I was asking to the people for donations to make 30,000 a month. Now you know how much we are spending. 50 lakh rupees each and every month we are spending. 50 lakh rupees. So this year our financial statement is now preparing. We spent already 5 crore rupees
5 crore?
in a year. So,
Wow.
that was I said that now I felt sometimes I feel stress because I am very much worried about will we get 50 lakh rupees donation each and every month. I am thinking about that. That is the reason for my stress.
Yes. Okay. No, because so how do you get over the I mean, the hurdles that you face? Yes, you were very persistent, you were very determined, and it really motivated. Your pain really motivated you to do something and still continue to do. What advice you would like to give to women in general who wish to start something, who do start, but then because of either the family hurdles, the obligations, or from the society in general, how can we as women overcome that and still continue? Because it becomes very difficult at times, right? When, especially like you said, when family is against, that's really difficult to handle. So how can probably a woman who might not be as determined and as persistent as you are, how can she somehow get that courage to do what she wants to do?
I,
Would you
I,
have any advice, ma'am?
I feel, Sheila, there is no need to empower a woman. She is already the most powerful creature in the universe. See?
Huh.
So please look into yourself. You look into yourself. You can identify that if you have a desire, if you have a goal, if you have a vision, mission, if you have a intent, something to be, you have a dream. Definitely, you can reach it. You must think that there will be no red carpet. You can walk through the thorns and stones, but if you are determined, you can do it. Mostly men can do that. Can't do, but women can do that. Women have enormous energy. We have to realize it. We have to use it. We have to see how we are managing to looking after our children, looking after the household things, managing the everything. Every men are thinking they are the world is rolling on them, but actually nothing. If women take two steps backwards, they are powerless. They cannot do anything. They cannot do anything. But if a man took two steps backwards, nothing will happen to a woman. She have the courage and the energy. But the one and only thing I have to say that you look into yourself. If you have a desire, if you have a dream, if you have a goal, definitely try hard. Don't get what I say.
Discouraged.
Discouraged. Don't never.
Never be
And
discouraged.
when we came and when we reach the goal, everybody will put a halo or oh wow, geez,
She
like that.
managed to do it. How did she manage to do?
When I received Vanitha Woman of the Year award, the first message I received from my husband, Amir, oh, you are great.
cute. That's the best thing. Okay, ma'am. Now, enough of serious questions. We will have a rapid fire sort of questions, okay? So, starting with one word to describe you. If someone asked you, if someone, meets you for the first time, what do you think they would describe you as a person? Who is Sheeba Ameer? As in it, yeah. One word only, huh? One word.
One word. Maybe she is a very lovable person. Like that.
Yes. Okay. What are the things that make you happy?
Nature can make me happy.
Nature, huh?
Yeah, the rain, the flowers, and the meadows, and the beauty of nature makes me happy. And the other thing, that happiness is not that much deepest one. If I am doing all these work, I can meet my child's mothers and their parents. They are saying we are comfortable. If we don't have Solace, how can we are living only because of you? That makes me happy. So I mean that is the feeling, not happiness. It is worth living.
Yes. Satisfaction, the inner contentment more than anything else.
I lived my life like that. I felt like that I lived my life.
Okay. What is your favorite food?
Fruits.
Fruits. Oh, obviously nature fruits.
The only tempting thing is fruits. If when we go to the supermarket or the mall, when we are going to the fruit section, see, I
nice.
That is mouth watering.
Yeah. Then
more than that, from buying supermarket, guava tree, guava. What is it?
Guava.
On a tree, when I saw something, definitely I want to pick it and I want to directly eat it.
Eat it. So you have to be careful because if the owner finds you, then it will be a problem.
So when I'm passing through the road and everything, so when I always look into the trees.
I'm now imagining you in a sari climbing up the tree.
That happened, Sheila. In my life, that happened.
Huh?
After my marriage, first we had a lunch party in my elder father's elder brother's house, where I spent my vacations and everything. That all the trees are learned to afford me. I used to climb on these much thick
branches. Is it? Wow.
Yeah. So my husband was searching me where she went. So he saw on the top of the tree with a sari.
So I wasn't wrong in imagining it.
So he called me. Now never go to this house. And for the 14 years, I never went to my father's elder brother's house.
I know. But now do you go there? Do you go there over there? Right now you go. And still climb trees?
No.
Now you go.
I have confidence.
Okay. What is your favorite food as such, ma'am, other than fruits? Any like biryani or?
No, nothing. No, that's not biryani. No.
No? Okay. Any secret talent? We know you love to do the brocade work on the sari and the net, but any other talent amongst the various talents?
No, I'm not a talented person. But Sheila, you told that I wrote 3 books. There are 5 books published from me. That also happened like this. I don't know how I never prepared to, okay, I have to publish 1 book, and I never sit for writing like that. when I saw something, so I felt to write, so I wrote it, and my friends give that to papers and it published. So my published articles combined
Book.
the in 5 books, okay, and the first book got Avani Bala award. And apart from that, I love to write songs, lyrics.
Ah, oh.
So there are 5 6 songs published by Manorama Music. You
Huh?
can see that
Wow.
in YouTube, sung by Sitara Krishnamkumar, B. Chandran, and this Aparna Balamurali, like that.
Oh,
Correct.
wow. So now we know the other talent of yours also.
So I love to write
Right.
poems.
Songs.
Songs.
Songs. Okay.
You
So
can you can find it from the YouTube.
I'll find
Sheeba,
it.
Sheeba Ameer, you will get
Songs.
5 6.
Nice. Okay, ma'am, you do so many kind things for, people around you. Do you remember any of the kindest things someone has done for you?
Pardon, I didn't get.
Like, you are kind, you have been very helpful and kind to a lot of people. So, do
Yeah.
you remember anyone who has done something really helpful or has been really kind towards you? Has done
See,
something.
for example, I told you, Dr. Purvish Pari.
Yeah.
There are Dr. Ashish, the junior doctors, Dr. Ashish, Dr. Unmesh, Dr. Ashish from Calcutta, Dr. Unmesh from Maharashtra itself, Dr. Purvish from Gujarat. All these doctors, all these nurses, they were very kind to me and Neelu. They cared that much, and after that she had lot of problems after that, the chemotherapy and like that. uh, Actually she survived from cancer, but the side effects of chemotherapy made her
Worse.
yeah. So we went many other hospitals. All these people cared us, and more than that, see, I just started Solace. Okay, see how much people are supporting me. See, if 50 lakh rupees a month, 5 crore in
A
a
year.
year. Lot of people are connecting,
Supporting.
right?
Yes, yes.
And lot of volunteers are working with us. Lot of volunteers are working with us. So I used to say, I like to say that Solace is not Sheeba Ameer. Solace is not. That is a collection of compassion. Collection of
Yes.
compassion.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
how can I pick one
One.
kind from this? I don't know.
True. Wrong question. Okay. It's totally a wrong question. I agree. So, ma'am, our last question. Any advice you would like to give to young people who kind of give up these days? We've seen we give up very easily as soon as we face the first or the second hurdle. We are like, okay, it's not for us. Our destiny it is not meant to be for us. So, is there any advice you would like to give to the youth as well as women with respect to how to, overcome the hurdles or the way to go about it? Any advice, ma'am?
I felt that life is not a smooth going thing. See, everybody have next day. We cannot predict. Life is that much full of uncertainty, full of difficult situations that may come if even if they are rich or poor. Anyone. But we the only way is we can move on. We have to move. We have to
Yes.
go on with all the moments we have to move on. So, if we are thinking about somebody, we are thinking about the others, not only ourselves, not to be selfish. If we are thinking about others, that will give very very comfort to our life.
True.
Even though it is a youth, even though it is women, if we are thinking about others and we are giving something for them. We are spending some time, money, we are our compassion, our love, and anything to them, to the others who are surrounding us with their sufferings. That will encourage ourselves. The benefit is ultimately for us. Ultimately for us. That will make us happy. That will make us courageous. That will make our life worth living. And we, I don't know. Please feel it. Please do it, and took an opportunity to feel that happiness. That is
Absolutely, ma'am. I mean, your story, it actually, it makes us believe in humanity. It makes us want to do better for people, even those who are unknown to us, right? We don't know them personally, yet I think when I look at you, and I would say this for all who would be listening also, whenever we listen to you, we look at you, we feel that, you are the best person who has taught us that yes, pain comes, no doubt, but helping others, helping out, reaching out to others, and giving them without expecting anything in return, just giving, that in itself gives one a lot of happiness, a lot of contentment, and a beautiful skin.
Thank you.
No, the last part was, I mean, but it was really great talking to you, ma'am. Thank you so much. I know you're busy. I know you have a lot. I mean, handling so many things together, juggling so many things together, and giving us 1 hour of your time, which I know is very difficult for you, but still you gave it to us. We who have just started, it's just been 2 years, 2.5 years since we started our organization. So we know we have a lot to learn from you, and we hope we will be able to imbibe even 1% of what you have done for so many. We hope that we are also able to help out a lot many youth and women in our journey too.
Okay, Sheila and Maya, when I am communicating with you, I am in our this time. I enjoyed a lot when you both are laughing like this, and I never see you before. I never only once I talk to you, but I felt that you are my very close friends like that. The same smile, my face, and yours. So I think.
Thank you, ma'am. Really, very nice.
So I've also enjoyed a lot with this, even though I don't. I cannot.
Even though you don't speak in English. See, ma'am, I told you it will be not an interview style. That's what. It's not going to be in the form of interview.
It was just like a talk, like just
Conversation.
like a conversation.
So
Yes.
It was really nice, ma'am. Seriously, so inspiring what you have done.
So
We
when we are winding up our session, I have to say one word, one sentence, that still I am putting myself in the position of zero, and I am just like you heard the story in your childhood, Jack and the Beanstalk. See, the Jack put a beans in the mud,
Round.
and the next day it becomes that reach in the sky, like that. I'm standing in front of Solace like that. Oh,
it's become so big.
that's still I have the excitement of that Jack.
Yes, ma'am, it can be seen.
In zero position for me. I'm not a person to do all these things. I don't know any. I have no nothing. I'm not a step for do all this, but I did it. I did
Yes.
No, really inspiring, ma'am. Really, I mean, all the hurdles, whether it's personal, whether it's family, whether it's professional, you dealt with everything. Seriously, it's such an honor to be in the same space as you. I mean, really, so thankful to you for sharing what you went through. Anytime we are down, We will remember your story so that we can go back up. So,
Yes, and
really, you have
special thanks to Shahabana. Thanks to her,
Yes.
we
Yes,
got
for sure.
you. So
I
thank
know
you.
the three of you would connect very badly.
Very well, not